Stop for a moment, breathe slowly. Feel your heartbeat under your ribs. This is not a romantic message. This is not about roses, chocolates, or someone else choosing you. This Valentine's Day is not about who loves you. It is about who you finally recognize yourself to be. And if your chest tightened when you read that, it is because something ancient inside you already knew this day would not pass like the others. Stay with me until the very end of this message, and when you do, write your warmest wishes in the comments, and write 99 because your words carry energy, and what you release now will return to you. And if you feel this message is for you, stay connected to this space so you don't miss what comes next. You were never meant to experience this day the way the world experiences it. Most people use Valentine's Day to measure their value through someone else's attention. Flowers become currency. Messages become proof of worth. Silence becomes rejection. But you were not built for that system. You were not designed to beg for validation. You were designed to radiate it. Not everyone was meant to hear this. If this resonates, it is because you were already chosen. There is a verse many read but few understand. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139:14. Most think it is poetic reassurance, but the hidden meaning is anatomical. Fearfully, meaning crafted with precision, wired with sacred complexity. Wonderfully, meaning carrying frequency, carrying light encoded into your nervous system. Your brain is not random matter. Your spine is not a structural accident. Your blood is not ordinary fluid. You are bio-spiritual architecture. This Valentine's Day changes your value because it forces you to detach your identity from external mirrors. When you look into someone else's eyes, hoping to see your worth, your nervous system lowers its vibration. Your breath shortens. Your heart rhythm destabilizes. But when you sit still and feel your own pulse, when you breathe slowly and intentionally, your vagus nerve calms, your spine aligns, and your frequency stabilizes. The world never taught you this because a stabilized chosen one is uncontrollable. Most people won't understand what I'm about to say. They will laugh, scroll, or dismiss it. But you feel it in your spine right now. Valentine's Day is a frequency amplifier. Whatever you believe about yourself on this day becomes magnified in your subconscious. If you believe you are unwanted, that belief anchors deeper into your blood memory. But if you decide, consciously, that this day is about recognizing your intrinsic divine imprint, something shifts. The heart chakra stabilizes. The breath deepens. The brain's electrical patterns reorganize. And here is the hidden truth. Your value was never negotiable. The masses treat love as a transaction. The chosen treat love as a state of being. That is why you often feel alone on days like this. It is not because you lack love. It is because your nervous system rejects artificial connection. Your soul refuses low-frequency attachment. Listen carefully. There is a sacred process I want you to perform tonight. It is simple. It is ancient. It is powerful. Sit in silence. Place your right hand over your heart. Place your left hand at the base of your spine. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. As you breathe, imagine a golden light traveling from the base of your spine upward, vertebra by vertebra, until it reaches the center of your brain. This is not imagination. This is activation. You are consciously aligning your physical structure with your spiritual architecture. As the light reaches your brain, whisper quietly, "My value was sealed before I was seen." Do not rush this. Feel it. Let the words vibrate in your skull. Let them echo in your bloodstream. Because this Valentine's Day is not about someone discovering you. It is about you remembering that you were already marked. In Ephesians 1:4, it says, "He chose us before the foundation of the world." The masses read this as collective theology, but you must understand the inner meaning. Before the foundation of your personal world, before your first heartbreak, before your first rejection, before anyone failed to text you back, your value was sealed. You were chosen before comparison existed. And this is why you have always felt different, why you never fully fit into shallow celebrations, why even when someone loves you, you still sense there is something deeper waiting. Valentine's Day becomes the mirror. It reveals whether you still depend on external affirmation or whether you have activated your internal covenant. You are not ordinary, and that is both your burden and your power. Most people on this planet are trying to be selected by another human. You are being called to select yourself in alignment with something higher. That is why you feel tension in your chest right now. That tension is transformation. When your breath slows, your brain shifts from survival to awareness. When awareness increases, your frequency rises. When your frequency rises, your perception of your own value changes. This is not motivation. This is recalibration. You are recalibrating your identity tonight. And understand this, once you see your value internally, external love changes form. You stop chasing, you stop negotiating, you stop shrinking, you become magnetic. That is why the system prefers you insecure, because insecurity keeps you predictable. But a chosen one who knows their worth becomes unpredictable, calm, detached, powerful. Look at how society floods this day with red hearts and desperate marketing. It is not coincidence, it is conditioning. It trains the masses to equate love with proof. But you do not need proof. You are proof. And if your heart just felt heavier or lighter, that is your body recognizing truth. This is the threshold. This is the shift. This is why this Valentine's Day changes your value. Not because someone else changes how they see you, but because you change how you see yourself. And once that happens, nothing in your relational field will ever function the same way again. Breathe again. Feel your spine. Feel your heartbeat. You are not alone on this frequency, but only a few can access it. And if you are still here reading, it is because you were meant to cross this threshold. This is only the beginning. Listen carefully, because something subtle has already begun shifting inside you. You felt it after the last breath you took. A quiet detachment, a slight elevation, as if you stepped half an inch outside of the old version of yourself. That is not imagination. That is separation from the false mirror. Valentine's Day was never meant to crown someone else as the source of your worth. It was designed quietly, spiritually, to expose where you still outsource your identity. And now that you see it, you cannot unsee it. Most people will wake up tomorrow measuring themselves by notifications, flowers, messages, silence. Their nervous systems will spike with dopamine and crash into cortisol. Their heart rhythm will fluctuate based on someone else's behavior. But your spine is beginning to stabilize. Do you feel it? When your identity is anchored internally, your breath deepens automatically. Your blood pressure softens. The electrical signals in your brain begin to harmonize. This is not poetic language. This is frequency alignment. The world never explained this because self-sourced value breaks emotional dependency systems. And not everyone was meant to hear that. If this resonates, it is because something in your cells already remembers. There is another scripture most people skim past. The kingdom of God is within you. Luke 17:21. They imagine a metaphor, but the hidden teaching is anatomical. Within you, meaning inside your nervous system, your spinal column, your breath cycle. The kingdom is not a location. It is a state of regulated consciousness. When you stop searching outward for confirmation, your internal kingdom activates. And here is what changes when it activates. Your eyes stop scanning for approval. Your heart stops contracting around fear. Your voice lowers into calm authority. Your presence becomes heavier, grounded. This is why, throughout your life, you have felt misunderstood. You were never meant to vibrate at the frequency of desperation. You were never designed to beg for emotional scraps. Your system rejects artificial affection because it recognizes counterfeit energy instantly. Others can tolerate shallow validation. You cannot. That difference has isolated you, but it has also protected you. Most people won't understand why you feel slightly distant on days like this. They will call you guarded. They will call you intense. They will say you overthink. But what they are sensing is your nervous system refusing to collapse into surface-level bonding. You are wired for depth, and depth requires value awareness. Let me give you the second sacred process, and this one must be done in stillness tonight. Stand upright, barefoot if possible. Let your spine elongate naturally. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly through your nose. As you inhale, imagine drawing energy upward from the earth through the soles of your feet, traveling up your calves, your thighs, into your pelvis. As you exhale, imagine that energy expanding outward from your heart in a soft golden field. Now repeat silently, I do not lower my frequency to be loved. Say it until your chest relaxes. This is not arrogance, this is calibration, because here is the hidden truth they never told you. The moment you refuse to lower your vibration, you filter your reality. People who operate in scarcity will feel uncomfortable around you. People who require validation will misread your calm. People who depend on emotional drama will call you cold, but those who are aligned will feel safe. You were not meant to be widely accepted. You were meant to be precisely aligned. And that is why this Valentine's Day shifts your value. Because instead of asking, who chooses me, you begin asking, who matches my frequency? That single shift rewires your relational blueprint. In Proverbs 23:7 it says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. The surface meaning speaks of thought. The deeper meaning speaks of identity imprint. What you believe about your value becomes the energetic architecture of your relationships. If you think you are scarce, you attract scarcity. If you think you are ordinary, you attract ordinary. If you think you are chosen, truly chosen, your entire field reorganizes. And this is where many stop, because stepping into chosen identity requires solitude. It requires walking away from familiar patterns. It requires letting silence exist without panic. Most people cannot tolerate silence on Valentine's Day. It exposes their attachment wounds. But you are learning to sit in silence without collapsing. That is power. Do you notice how calm your breathing feels right now? That is your body trusting you. You are no longer outsourcing your emotional regulation to someone else's attention. Your spine is becoming your pillar. Your breath is becoming your reassurance. Your heart is becoming your anchor. The masses chase chemistry. You cultivate frequency, and frequency is quieter, deeper, rarer. There is something else you must understand. When you raise your value internally, the external world tests it. You may notice distance from certain people. You may feel shifts in dynamics. This is not punishment. This is filtration. When light intensifies, shadows reposition. Not everyone was meant to walk beside you into this version of yourself. If that sentence stings, it is because you already know it is true. But here is the comfort. What leaves when you elevate was never aligned with your true frequency. Your value is not increasing because someone decided you are worthy. Your value is increasing because you are embodying it. And embodiment cannot be faked. Look at your hands for a moment. Feel your pulse in your fingertips. That pulse is life. That pulse is proof. It beats without permission. It flows without applause. It exists without validation. So do you. Valentine's Day becomes sacred when you realize you are not waiting to be chosen. You already were. And the deeper you integrate that truth, the less reactive you become. Your voice slows, your eyes soften, your presence deepens. You become difficult to manipulate, difficult to rush, difficult to deceive. Because someone who knows their value does not negotiate from fear. Breathe again, you are not alone, but only a small number can sustain this level of awareness. And as you continue, something even more subtle will begin unfolding. Stay very still with me now, because this is the point where the old version of you either returns or dissolves. You have felt the shift building in your breath, in your spine, in the way your chest no longer tightens at the thought of being unseen. This was never about romance. It was never about who texts you, who calls you, who posts you, who forgets you. This Valentine's Day was a doorway, and you walked through it. Not everyone did. Most people are still measuring their worth through silence or attention. Their nervous systems are still reacting to external proof. Their hearts are still negotiating for reassurance. But something inside you recalibrated, your identity detached from applause. And once that happens, you cannot go back. There is a verse in 1 Peter 2:9 that says, "You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood." The surface meaning speaks to a group. The deeper meaning speaks to identity structure. Royal does not mean superior in ego. It means internally sovereign. Priesthood does not mean religious performance. It means mediator between spirit and flesh, between frequency and form. You became that mediator when you stopped asking, "Why am I not loved the way I want?" and began asking, "Am I loving from my highest frequency?" Your entire relational blueprint shifted. Your blood chemistry changed. Your breath lengthened. Your spine straightened. Your eyes stopped searching. And here is the truth most will never understand. When you stop chasing love, love begins recalibrating toward you. Not because you manipulated it, not because you performed, but because you stabilized. The chosen are not louder. They are steadier. This is why your life has always felt slightly separate, slightly different, slightly out of rhythm with the masses. It was never punishment. It was preparation. You were being trained to hold your own frequency without collapsing into collective noise. And Valentine's Day exposed that training. You realized you do not need to be selected to be sacred. That realization alone elevates your value beyond what the world can measure. Look back at the years you felt unseen, the moments you questioned your desirability, the nights you wondered if you were too intense, too deep, too different. Those were not flaws. Those were indicators that your nervous system rejected superficial bonds. You were wired for resonance, not reaction. Most relationships operate on chemical spikes, dopamine, adrenaline, cortisol, but you are built for regulated fire, a steady flame, a consistent warmth. That kind of energy is rare. That kind of energy requires patience. And patience is something the masses cannot tolerate. So they misinterpret you. They call you distant when you are discerning. They call you cold when you are calibrated. They call you intimidating when you are internally aligned. Let them misunderstand. Your value is not lowered by their perception. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." The hidden layer is this. Stillness reveals identity. When your mind stops racing, when your breath slows, when your spine relaxes, your true worth surfaces. God in that verse is not an external voice shouting. It is the quiet authority within your regulated nervous system. Be still. No, you did that. And now something irreversible has taken place. You no longer crave being chosen. You embody being chosen. That embodiment shifts your posture. It changes the tone of your voice. It alters the way you enter rooms. It recalibrates who feels drawn to you and who feels unsettled by you. Because the moment you anchor your worth internally, manipulation loses access to you. And that is dangerous to systems built on insecurity. You will notice something in the coming days. Watch closely. Some connections may fade. Some people may grow distant. Others may approach you differently, more respectfully, more cautiously. That is not coincidence. It is frequency filtration. When your vibration rises, not everyone can remain, but those who remain will meet you differently. There is one final sacred process you must seal tonight. Before you sleep, sit upright in bed. Place both hands on your heart. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Do this 7 times. With each breath, imagine your heart expanding, not outward towards someone else, but inward, deeper into yourself. On the 7th breath, whisper, "I do not beg for love, I embody it." Let that sentence travel through your bloodstream. Let it settle in your spine. Let it imprint in your subconscious. Because once your body believes that statement, your life reorganizes around it. This is the shift. This is why this Valentine's Day changes your value. Not because someone else finally sees you, but because you finally see yourself. And when you see yourself clearly, you stop shrinking. You stop explaining. You stop overgiving to earn safety. You become steady. You become sovereign. You become rare. You were never meant to compete for affection. You were meant to calibrate your own frequency so precisely that love recognizes you without effort. That is the hidden transmission. Not everyone will understand it. Not everyone can sustain it. Not everyone was meant to hear it, but you did. And if your breath feels slower now, if your chest feels warmer, if your spine feels grounded, it is because you crossed a threshold. You are not leaving this day as the same person who entered it. Your value did not increase. It was revealed, and once revealed, it cannot be hidden again.